This episode includes irreverent humor and references to politics and historical depictions of racist caricatures. Listener discretion is advised. Hello everyone, Sinclair here, and Happy New Year! While we wait for the new anxieties and horrors of 2025, we can at least take solace in the new batch of toys we have to play with. That's right, the public domain has expanded once again, meaning that classic characters, movies, stories, and songs are now legally your property. Now, this series loves the public domain, and the expanse of the thing is going to mean great things. I mean, listen to the background. I'm watching a Mickey Mouse cartoon, and I don't have to turn it off. Free soundtrack, baby! So let's go through the list of some of the notable entries coming into our hands, and find out who else is going to get a god-awful, low-budget horror movie. At the top of the list is, of course, the much-discussed Popeye the Sailor Man. Yes, the classic cartoon character will finally start appearing in things again, because all of you will have the chance to put him in things. In fact, I have a special guest. Popeye, come on in here!
Greetings, dear public. I am Popeye the Sailor, from the classic Thimble Theater comic strips, and I'm glad to finally be in the hands of my beloved fans and supporters. With your help, we will be entering a new age of high seas adventures and nautical hijinks. Why, I was just saying to Olive Oil,
Popeye, why are you talking like that?
my first animated appearance wasn't until 1933. I'm not taking any chances with the voice.
Okay, but, you clearly had some kind of speech thing going on in the comics. I mean, maybe you can't be a dead ringer for Red Pepper Sam, but I imagine you can still sound like you.
Really?
Well, blow me down. Will I be able to eat my spinach?
You know, I thought not, but allegedly the strip that introduced the concept is out of copyright, so I don't know, you're probably fine.
Well, good. I'll be able to show that no-good Bluto what for.
I can't use him yet. He showed up later. But you can't fight Mickey Mouse. Or you can fight one of your other members of the 2025 public domain class. Like Horace Horsecollar.
Who?
You know, Horace Horsecollar. Mickey's horse friend? Yeah, he's poor man's Goofy. Even Clarabelle ditched him for the Dippy Dog. But Braveheart, Popeye. You'll be able to fight your best frenemy soon. Just like, I don't know, 3 more years? But right now, you can fight fascism.
That's nothing new. I've been fighting Nazis since the 40s. Not to mention those filthy...
That's enough today, Popeye. Thank you for joining us.
Green room. After the show, we gotta have a long talk. I was gonna say Italians.
That isn't better. Try to forgive him, folks. He's, from a different time.
I am what I am.
What I was trying to say was that he could have a face-off with Belgian boy reporter Tintin. But with quite a few caveats. You see, only the first Tintin story is entering the public domain, and only in its original French. I'm not sure if that means he legally can't speak English, but I do know it makes Tintin not as likable as he'd become in the future. We're far from the days of Captain Haddock, Thompson and Thompson, and the Secret of the Unicorn. You see, Tintin started his days as a little bit of a big proponent of far-right fascist sympathies. The first Tintin story was Tintin in the Land of the Soviets, and look, I'm not going to sit here and say I have a problem with anyone being critical of Stalinist Russia. That was just fascism with a hammer, sickle, and a red paint job. That being said, it's a story I haven't read, so I don't know how it aims at criticism or how wackadoo bananas it might actually be. But the next story, which will be in the public domain pretty soon itself, yeah, that one I feel pretty safe being very critical of. That story, Tintin in the Congo, features our favorite boy reporter showing his support for the continued occupation of the Congo by Belgium, and featuring some lovely characterizations of the native population. Good luck to anyone trying to use that. For the rest of us, it's like 11 years until the crap with the golden claws goes public, so hold tight. Speaking of unfortunate characterizations, early Looney Tunes / Merry Melodies mascot Bosco is also entering the public domain. Or he was already there. I don't know. Copyright law is arbitrary and bizarre. But let's take a look at some of the other fun stuff entering the creator's toolkit. Sound recordings are unfortunately still catching up to other mediums, so the selection in recorded popular music is still a little underwhelming. But the first recording of Rhapsody in Blue is now yours! And so is the 1924 Louis Armstrong Christmas classic, Santa Claus Blues. Expect to be hearing that on this feed come December. In terms of published songs, yes, published music and lyrics have different rules than recordings. You can feel free to record covers of Ain't Misbehavin' and Singin' in the Rain, and anything from the musical Showgirl, no, not that one, that's plural anyways, and Sweet Adeline. The world of literature is giving us access to Faulkner's Sound and Fury, Hemingway's Farewell to Arms, and a couple of Dashiell Hammett stories. No, not the Maltese Falcon, sorry. Also, The Magic Island, which is apparently the first book to have zombies in it, is also entering the public domain. Which is really funny, given that The Night of the Living Dead, the most famous zombie story ever, has been public domain since its release. While this supposed originator of the trope, that no one remembers, is only just now available to the public. Too little too late, William Seabrook. But the big news this year is film. 1929 was the first full year of talkies on the market, so get ready to take advantage of a whole host of classic movies. Like the first Marx Brothers film, The Coconuts. Not their best work, but it has its moments. Joining it are the first sound Bulldog Drummond feature, Alfred Hitchcock's first sound feature, Blackmail, so too Cecil B. DeMille's first, Dynamite, and a nice bundle of Mickey Mouse cartoons, and even the classic Skeleton Dance. In fact, there are a whole lot of movies from before the Hays Code that are now free to be used, and I don't have the time or mental discipline to list all of them. So I've included some Wikipedia links in the description. Not just to the list of films that were released in 1929, but to a few other relevant links too. Have fun out there, creators. There's a whole lot more to the public domain than cheap horror movies. And to my fellow audio creators who are as equally musically challenged as I am, just remember, public domain music and movies are a good way to fill the background out. Now, if you excuse me, I have an old sailor who needs a talking to. That sounds like a euphemism. Happy New Year, folks! And take care of each other out there. Remember what my old pal John Ronald used to say. Darkness must pass. A new day will come. And when the sun shines, it will shine out the clearer. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon. All audio used is, of course, in the public domain. Check out the links in the description to find out what else is entering the public domain this year.